Yo, YouTube, what is going on? Radar 25 back again with another video. My co-host Michael Fuentemania.
What up, Marks?
Guys, back again, another video. And it is our Backlash recap video. Backlash happened last night. A little bit of technical difficulties didn't allow us to drop this video last night. We're dropping it today, Monday, day of Monday Night Raw. Guys, it was a show that nobody was really excited to see.
Nope.
But some things were good, some things were bad. We'll get into that. Before we do, I want to remind you guys to drop a like on this video and the previous videos, and the subscribe button so you guys aren't missing anything. Notification bell as well so you're not missing anything. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram. Follow the live stream on Twitch and Mixer. All that pop on the screen. Without further ado, guys, get right into the recap video of WWE Backlash 2020. Guys, the kickoff for Backlash, surprisingly, was Apollo Crews versus Andrade. Now, this is one of the more marquee matchups because it was been profiled for a while on Raw, and they put this on the pre-show. I kind of felt like they should have probably put the Street Profits and Viking Raiders on there. We'll get to that later, what happened with that, but maybe something like that, or I think to be honest, probably that or the women's tag team match maybe on the pre-show.
Here's the thing. Why did they even have a pre-show? Just make that the first match.
They didn't need it. Yeah, they didn't need it.
Like the thing about having a pre-show. It's like, why you don't need to have a pre-show. It doesn't make anybody feel bad if you just make it part of the damn show. I never understand anyway. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I guess you could put a part of the show and just cut time off another match.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, this makes no sense to have a pre-show, especially during the times we're in right now where there are no fans. They could just have it all in one show rather than just doing a pre-show. But as expected, the match was going to be good, which it was. Very, very solid match. Apollo Crews and Andrade work very well with each other. There's some issues here between Garza and Andrade. He pretty much seems to have cost Andrade the match, and Andrade seems to be blaming him, so they may not be lasting too much longer, Garza and Andrade, because Apollo Crews got the win due to Garza trying to distract Apollo Crews. Kevin Owens was doing commentary. He came and helped out Apollo Crews and allowed Apollo Crews to get the win. So, I'm assuming Andrade is going to blame Garza for the loss here. So they may start a feud with them two, and then maybe Owens gets into the U.S. title picture again, going against Apollo, because he does have he may say like, oh, okay, I'm the reason you held onto your title because I helped you out. So something like that maybe.
Yeah, I mean Andrade definitely feels pissed off because Garza didn't interfere well enough. He interfered, but not well enough where it helped Andrade win. And like you said, I think it's going to lead just to a friendly, not a friendly, but babyface, respectful Kevin Owens versus Apollo Crews run for the U.S. title here. So we'll see where that goes. And definitely the Selena stable has fallen from grace for sure. But it was about 2 months ago. Big time.
We were excited about it, but now, not so much. They really dropped the ball on that whole thing. But guys, good match to start the show. I'll give it a thumbs up. As the first match, like a kickoff show, it is what it is. Should have been on the show, but it wasn't. Guys, the first match of the official Backlash card was the women's tag team title match. It was Bayley, Sasha Banks, the champions, versus Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, the former champ, versus the Iconics, the former champs. This match, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Especially, I don't like these kind of triple threat or four corner tag matches. I think they're kind of weird. And they did that for me. Like the standoffs in the middle of the ring they did were kind of corny to me. Like they would just stand there and like kind of look at each other like as like a standstill. I didn't like it. I kind of want to see Alexa Bliss in a singles run rather than the tag team picture.
Well, I mean, they showcased her. She was like, she came in. She's the smallest competitor in there, but she was laying everybody out. She was doing Luthez all day. Luthez. She looked like a mini Austin.
Yeah, so, press all day.
Hopefully, the injury things are behind her. The company has faith in her, and they can give her a run because, like, I didn't even remember that, but she's a 5-time women's champion, so she's like a big time star.
Yeah, those injuries really put her back, and now she's
Yeah, so I don't think she's been champion over 18 months, probably something like that. So hopefully she can get that's the only thing coming out of this match where I was excited about was Alexa Bliss, taking charge and being kind of like the star of the match. Billie Kay and forgetting her partner's name. Yeah, Payne Royce. They're okay. They did a couple things like their wrestling is like their in-ring work is kind of. It's a little bit wonky at times. There was one like Billie Kay there was a move where she was gonna get face planted by Bayley, and then Sasha came in with the knee, and she could just see her looking for it. just stuff like that. They're not really hone the craft to make all these fun high spots. Peyton Royce did like a jump through like the middle rope and just fell on the knee of Bailey. It was kind of all awkward. Again, like you said, just too much going on in this match, but it was
that's why I'm not a fan of these kind of matches. It was like I give like a thumbs in the middle if I had to.
Yeah, like it was entertaining,
it wasn't bad and it wasn't good. It was kind of like just in the middle. It was what it was. Not much you can come out from here, but Sasha Banks and Bailey retain the titles. Let's see. I mean, they are going to face on NXT this week. They will face our girl Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox in the match. I kind of want to see like an NXT women beat them. Like NXT tag team beat them. I would like to
think
see
so
that.
too. In fact, I think the belt would be better. The tag team belts would be better off in NXT. I feel that way because there's a lot of girls on there, and you can make a couple tag teams out of it, and that always have to be the focal point of it being the women's division just for the NXT championship matches. More of just kind of get more of the girls involved because there's some talent down there.
They just need to bolster up the women's tag team division in general because they brought these titles out, but they just never really bolstered the division. So that's something they need to do. But that match was what it was. Sasha, Bailey, still champs. There seems to be no rift anymore between the two, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, we know that's coming eventually, so we'll see.
Always in their back pocket. It's always in their back pocket.
As the next thing on Backlash was Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. Another match that was what it was. It was okay. I mean, it's just, Jeff got his ass beat the majority of the match.
Yeah, the whole match was just,
Sheamus is super, like, underrated, and he's really like a guy that people like never really give credit to. I mean, I remember when he came in, he got the title really fast. He got the title super fast. I think it was like a few months in, he beat Cena in that tables match, and he won the title.
Not even. I feel like it was like his first like month in the company at one point.
Could have been like no, it wasn't first. I think it was like first couple months, something like that. He won it super fast.
I just remember him coming in and just being champion all of a sudden.
Yeah, but he's super underrated. Very physical guy, and not to say this match was bad, but it was just predictable. Now, interesting enough, the only thing that wasn't predictable was that Sheamus actually came out with the win here.
Yeah.
Which I thought kind of odd because obviously he's such a asshole in this whole scenario by bringing up, Jeff Hardy's like real personal issues and the whole thing, make him take a piss test. Now, maybe this leads to like the guy who set up Jeff Hardy isn't Sheamus and he was just wrong this whole time.
I think more of it's just going to be they did that whole car scene stuff, the whole setup thing, the spot last week with the doctor. I just think this is going to be a multiple match storyline. Like, it's not going to be quick. I don't know if there's going to be somebody else coming in. I think it's Sheamus, and I don't
because Sheamus did win clean, like in the ring, like
he won clean, and he beat his ass most of the match. And there was like some weird wonky spots where Jeff like fell off the rope. Top rope weird and fell right into Sheamus. There were some weird spots going on. He looked really rusty again. But yeah, I don't think that'd be a weird swerve, but I just think it's going to be like another match either at Extreme Rules, which will be right up Jeff's alley, maybe like some type of ladder match type of thing. Just one more time, do a swanton off a ladder. We'll see. But the match was all right. It was what it was. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. It was a sideways stunt.
Like for me, it's a sideways stunt, but like a little bit of angled going down.
I think it was.
It just was what I wasn't super excited for it. Like I think the best thing about this was the piss angle rather than the actual match itself.
Yeah.
And it is what it is right now.
This whole event or pay-per-view felt more of like when they do like Starrcade and random on a random Sunday.
Like a random house show.
It felt like a special house show is what it felt like. It didn't feel like a pay-per-view. The matches didn't feel pay-per-view. They didn't feel the stakes were high from any really of the matches besides the main event. Besides the main event and like the WWE title match, but for the most part, the stakes weren't super high in any of this, and the feuds weren't like super like intense. The only thing behind Jeff Hardy and Sheamus was people kind of either for or against the fact of WWE actually using Jeff Hardy's real life issues in storyline. Yeah.
That's the only thing about this angle that people actually cared about was the fact that whether you were okay or not okay with them using that as a storyline.
Again, I don't think the WWE is forcing Jeff Hardy to do it. I think Jeff was cool with it and probably is just trying to, put awareness out that people have these issues and, just part of the story. Brings it all out into the universe. Yeah, we'll see how he does. Let's see if he shows up on tonight on Monday and maybe talks about on Fridays. See if he comes out on Friday and talks about it. Maybe but let's see what happens because I doubt this is gonna be the end for Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. It doesn't really make for just to end like that. He got his piss thrown in his face and then he beats him and then I don't know. Weird. Guys, and he beats him like single like just beats his ass the whole match.
Beats his ass, yeah. Guys, next match was another disappointing match. Asuka versus Nia Jax, Raw Women's title. This match was kind of like it was wonky, right? Like it was just like but then like the ending would make this like a really like a thumbs down for me.
Like double. This is a double thumbs down for that ending. The ending was.
I mean, so they're brawling, they're fighting, and then they fall out to the outside, and then Asuka puts the armbar on Nia Jax on the outside, and then like it ends up being a double count out. I was like,
it wasn't even like I don't know. Maybe it's because Nia's just maybe nervous now, or she's in her head, but she looked extra sloppy and just everything looked really weird. And just even like that last moment where she's trying to pick her up and get her back in the ring, like it was just like have some urgency. Like there wasn't any, like, oh my God, I have to get there. Just like 9, and she's like taking her time, picking her up. It's like it just felt, I don't know. Asuka and her have no chemistry. There was botches all over. Yeah, this match was awful. I'm starting to think that Nia hurting girls is getting in her head, and she's in her own head right now. She might be in a bit of a slump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the issue with Kairi Sane and the staircase, the steps leading to the ring. Kairi Sane came out and said that was her fault. Who's to say whose fault it was and who wasn't? It is what it is. But maybe you could be right. Maybe she's getting in her head a little bit. But this match was just off. Just in general
off. Off.
It's one of the more prominent angles on Monday Night Raw.
But like you say, it's prominent, but the fact is, we're all like Charlotte's on Raw back, and she doesn't have a title, so we're all waiting for Charlotte just to take on Asuka. That's basically
I was hoping more for Asuka, Shayna Baszler instead of Asuka, Nia Jax.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, to me, it's a thumbs down this match. Really not much there to talk about. The ending, it was just a double count out. It's just, it felt like not good. Guys, next thing on the show is another thumbs down for me, and it is the Universal Championship match, Miz and Morrison in a handicap match against Braun Strowman. I'm just not a fan of this. This sucks to me. It's like, and then like they look like they're gonna pin him, and then Miz pulls off Morrison off of, because, the stipulation just added was whoever pins or submits Strowman is champion. They're not co-champions. It's just whoever gets the pinfall or submission is the champion. Yeah. So he pulls it off Morrison, I guess, obviously just to be like, oh, I want to be champion or whatever. But then he kind of like regrets it and puts him. I just didn't like it in general. It's a handicap gimmick. It's because if it's a handicap match, but it doesn't really feel like Strowman's like against the odds, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
he's a monster.
They had like a handicap match, but it was like, it was more like a triple threat. It was Austin versus Kane and Undertaker, but you knew they were going to work together to beat Austin. So the odds are stacked against Austin at that point. Right here, you don't really feel like Strowman is in that much trouble to lose the match.
Well, it started off with a music video by Miz and Morrison that was like probably 90s or 80s soul feel to it, which was kind of corny and stupid, and it was cut off like halfway through because Braun came out. The whole match is basically just them flying for him, and then they kind of they try to get him on the ground a little bit, but yeah, it never felt like he was gonna lose the belt. No one really cared coming in about this entire storyline, even with the car stuff and the whatever else the hell they were all the shenanigans that they were doing.
Yeah.
The ending sucked with Miz and Morrison just in there kind of like arguing with each other. I'm not really arguing, but like, what the hell are you doing taking me off? The whole ending was weird. No one cared. It didn't feel special. No one cared. No one cared. Like, I didn't care about it. We all knew that Strowman wasn't gonna lose. So it just felt
I think it would have been more interesting if Miz and Morrison would have won.
Yeah.
And you have like an issue there as like the champion, one of them is champion, one of them isn't. They kind of like one resents the other for that. So that would have been more interesting than having it, Strowman actually just win. And it sucked. To me, it was a thumbs down. But that is what it is. Next thing on the show was Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley for WWE Championship. This match started off, it didn't even start the match. They hadn't even started, and Bobby Lashley already put the full Nelson on Drew McIntyre. I kind of thought the match was going to be short after that, but it went on longer. And it wasn't a bad match. I enjoyed it. It was a solid match. I'd give it a thumbs up. It's pretty physical. They were pretty trading feats of strength back and forth.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it like a almost up, like really close to being up, just really because of the ending. Yeah. The ending sucked. The whole match was fun. I liked the spots. They were, there were a bit of high spots in here, power moves galore. MVP was doing a good job of just, being the antagonizer and the coach on the outside. I like that aspect of the match, especially because they're in a crowd, so you can actually hear what he was saying. And then what we said that we didn't want to happen, here comes Lana getting involved.
Yes, Lana gets involved and kind of cost Bobby Lashley the match, which which the best thing that can happen at least to the end of Bobby Lashley and Lana, because I don't think this feud is over between Lashley and McIntyre yet. Yeah,
I think it might be over. I just think it's the end, for sure, the end of Lana and Bobby. I think that'll be a thing going forward. And it was just weird because Lana just comes out at the end of the match, just gets on the apron and starts talking to her. You're cheating, referee. You're cheating. I don't even know what you're talking about. No one cheating about what? And then the whole little, I don't want to hit the girl on the apron, and then hits her anyway, and then broke Claymore kick done. And it's just like the match was solid. The build up, we didn't love the build up, but the match I wasn't thoroughly enjoyed by the match. So just the way it ended just really was a bummer for me.
Yeah, the bummer is kind of like, Lana's coming out. I mean, it is. We're tired of seeing Lana and Lashley thing, so they didn't even have to add this, but they did. But the match overall, I would say it was good. Yeah, a thumbs up for the match. And still WWE champion Drew McIntyre. So we'll see where they go from after this, if the feud continues or he jumps on to somebody else. I heard rumor was that he's supposed to start feuding with Jinder Mahal, but not Jinder Mahal's hurt. I was excited to see that because of the history they do have.
I mean, you had to bring back Heath Slater if that was the case.
Yeah, that would have been nice to have all three of them there, but it would have been pretty interesting. But now we'd have to wait for something like that to see when that comes to be. But I think the Lashley is going to continue against McIntyre after this. Next thing on the show, it was announced before the show early in Sunday that it was going to be Street Profits versus Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team titles. It was announced it was going to be on the show. They were going to have a match. Now, the match never happened because they had some stupid cinematic thing in the back where they started brawling in the parking lot. They went all over the place. There was ninjas. Akira Tozawa was leading the biker boy ninjas. Angelo Dawkins, through I think it was Eric through a glass door in the front of the performance center. It's just more of the same, like, going on was a decathlon. They joined forces to take on the ninjas. It was a lot
Viking Profits.
It was a lot of shit going on, but I didn't like it. Like, I haven't liked anything they've done with the decathlon, and I didn't like this either.
Now, this was stupid. The whole thing was stupid, but I was like entertained by it. I wasn't, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was dumb. I was just taking it forward. This whole thing has been stupid, but I hated it. This I didn't hate. So they had that tall ninja guy come out. I thought it was Shaq for a second.
I thought it was Shaq too. Yeah, but it's actually a guy that they have in the performance center that's like a trainee that I've seen before, but he's like 7'3". Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like that dude was scary as hell.
Why Akira Tozawa was the leader?
I don't know. They just needed a ninja. I guess maybe he's a ninja. Maybe he's a real ninja. Who knows? Yeah. He's a shoot ninja.
But the beginning was cool because they broke Strowman's car, and early in the night too that he just got him arriving to the performance for Backlash. He got the front windshield fixed from when Miz and Morrison broke it. But they got slammed on top of Strowman's car, and then they left because they were afraid that Strowman was gonna show up. But
it sucked, but it was entertaining. I thought it was. If that makes any sense, I was like, this is really stupid, but I was entertained by it. So I don't know. It was a sideways for me.
I wasn't a fan of it whatsoever. I thought I put a thumbs down for me. I think they just should have had a match because, like, less and less will you take these guys seriously unless they actually get in and have good matches and put stuff together rather than you could do this stuff, but you also have to have matches as well. They haven't had matches in like a month, so
and I haven't even seen the titles. Has anybody seen the titles? Do they still exist?
We just saw them on Raw because they just.
I didn't even remember seeing them.
Like they came out, but that was pretty much it. I wasn't a fan of this. But let's get through that. Next thing on the show, and it's the main event. It is Edge versus Randy Orton in the greatest wrestling match ever. And was it the greatest wrestling match ever? No. Was it tremendous? To me, yes. This gives 2 thumbs up. Now, we're going with the AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan thing. One of the things I said was that, this is probably the reason most likely they had it on SmackDown and not on Backlash, just because they may have stole the show, going against, Edge and Randy Orton. They may have done a better match. But looking back at it, this probably if you would have had both matches on the show, now they have been both 2 long matches, so you couldn't have done it. But it would have been, the pay-per-view would have been that much better if they would have had both matches on here. But this match was tremendous, really, really back and forth. Now, it was interesting because they prefaced the match by saying that this match, deserves to be in front of like a crowd or whatever, a massive audience, so that WWE was doing some different things with audio, visuals, and stuff like that. So they pumped up the crowd noise, sounded a lot louder. They had, Charles Robinson wearing a blue button-down shirt, so the old school, like, Joey Morella type of, referee gear. They had them stand in the middle of the ring, and the microphones came down and said MSG from the old MSG, and they had Howard Finkel's voice go over the loudspeaker and announce both guys. So that was awesome. Cool. That was cool. The people around the ring were really into it. Yeah. And obviously they pumped up the crowd noise and the noises and everything and the visuals. But I thought this match was tremendous. It was long, but it was well done. They even hit like different people's finishers. Like there was a rock bottom, a pedigree. They did the Three Amigos. They did a couple other things in here. I think they did a Batista bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I thought it was really, really good. Both guys kicked out of a lot of stuff. Randy Orton kicked out of 2 spears. Edge kicked out of RKOs back left and right. The ending was Randy hitting the punt on Edge and getting the win. Now, is this the right call to have Orton win? I think so, because I think it gives a little bit more layers to Edge's new character as the guy making the comeback. Now, is his career over again or what? You're still waiting to see what comes from him after this. I did hear that he actually did get injured during the
he blew his tricep out.
Yeah, so we probably may not see him, for a little bit. Maybe he was up to cuts promos or whatever, but I heard he is injured. But yeah, what do you think of that?
This match gets one of these. Only reason it gets one of these is because they hyped it up. If it wasn't hyped as that stupid thing in the back, greatest wrestling match ever, I probably would have loved it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great, but it wasn't the greatest. Again, they had fun spots. They threw all the all those old school moves in there. It was cool. I just don't like when it goes like everybody's doing their finisher and no one can pin them. That stuff starts happening. So it's like that part always hits me like, yeah, come on, man. What's where you're killing the finishers? Oh, that's just me.
He used Christian's Unprettier, not the DC.
Yeah, Unprettier. Yeah, the Unprettier. Yeah. But yeah, just throwing out like it was cool. Like they were throwing out these different maneuvers, kind of paying homage to other boys, from when they were coming up. It was a really good match. Edge looked great. This should have been the match at WrestleMania instead of what they did. I think I would have replaced this. I think
they just did this because of the hate that WrestleMania match got.
Yeah, but again, but it was a great match. Both guys killed it. It's gonna lead to a third match. Like the last, of the trio. It has to be because they're both 1-1, so someone has to win it off in the rubber game. But again, Edge is hurt. Those triceps are tricky. It could be 6 months, a year, who knows? We're not really sure. So maybe around.
Yeah, we don't know how bad it is. Like
how bad it is. Yeah, but you like again, they probably wanted to put it on SummerSlam. I'm not sure if it'll be at SummerSlam this year. Maybe you push it to Royal Rumble or Survivor Series, something like that. But yeah, it was a really, really good match. They did a great job. 45 minutes, long match. The crowd noise was fun. I like the ghost of Fink coming through. That was great. Yeah, I mean they both killed it. They both killed it. So but not the greatest match ever.
No, it wasn't the greatest match ever. Nobody ever thought it would be, but this is the best we could have hoped for. Because it could have only been, bad. People were thinking like the only thing it could be is bad, right? Because they're hyping it as the greatest wrestling match ever. But it was all pretty much Randy going after the neck a lot of Edge selling the neck a lot in a lot of the moves. But yeah, it was a lot of finishers put out here, a lot of false finishes. But I thought it was very, very well done. Well wrestled by both guys.
I love the way it started too, because it was a lot of Randy showing, hey buddy, you're missing a step. And as the match kept going, Edge started to get the upper hand and more comfortable. Yeah. So like they told a great story. Like it was so well done. Like kudos to them. But all those false finishes, just like sometimes like, you just I don't know. I don't love when it's like 18 different finishers and there's no one's finishing them off.
But I mean, yeah. So the story going into the match obviously was, can Edge still go, and can he be capable of having a show stealing match, a 5-star match, as you know, say, or in our case, a 2 thumbs up match, you know? And that was the whole thing. So yeah, right, started off with Orton getting the upper hand in a lot of situations, kind of tricking him, moving out of the way. Edge would trip, fall, or make misstep, stuff like that. So it was that story going through, and then Edge getting more comfortable, getting his legs underneath him and really pushing the pace and taking to another level. And that's what they did. They really took it seriously. The tagline, greatest wrestling match ever. And they had a tremendous match. Nobody's saying it is the greatest wrestling match ever, and I don't think anybody thought it would be, because that's saying a lot. But we got the best we could hope for, which was the awesome 2 thumbs up match for Randy Orton and Edge. Orton gets the win. Let's see what happens with Edge's injury and what happens with both of these guys after this. If they go for the trilogy, who knows when that'll be, but we'll see what happens to see if anybody shows up tonight on Raw.
Well, I heard Randy's on Raw tonight.
Randy's on Raw. Let's see what he says, and let's see what happens. But guys, that is Backlash. As a show, I give it a thumbs in the middle.
Thumbs in the middle as well.
It was what it was. Couple good matches here and there. Obviously, the tremendous match that was Edge and Randy Orton. Couple stinkers in there. Not a huge fan of the Street Profits Viking Raiders shit. That's what they keep doing.
No, hopefully that's the end of that.
It is what it is. Hopefully, it's over and they get back to real wrestling matches. But guys, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, if it doesn't work, you better not do the job.
Later, Marks.